Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. John Megacycle here. An episode of Stellaris. Yeah, I don't really know how to introduce this one. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, it just really hit me that I used to do, or I like to do, the tutorial kind of a thing when I present a new game, and it's like, this is how you play Burr Burr Burr, and if you've never seen Burr Burr Burr, this is how Burr 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 is Burr Burr Burr. Um, Paradox makes games, the developer of Stellaris, they make games that are significantly more complex. They're usually referred to as grand strategy games, as opposed to just like an RTS that might be more familiar if you've ever heard of Command and Conquer, or KK&D, or Active Aggression, or I mean, those are or StarCraft or Warcraft or whatever. Those are more traditional RTS games. For this is more of a grand strategy. Like you're not controlling an army or a battlefield. You're controlling an empire. I guess that's the easy way I want to say it. Uh oh gosh, I wanted to try my slavers again. My mega church I haven't played in forever. Let's just do machine. Let's just have some machine thing. Okay. Let's go through the specifications right here. It's been a while since I played. Mass produced is fine. Luxurious is fine. Yep. It's fine. Unitary cohesion is fine. Gestalt consciousness on. Save. I'm done. Don't worry about it. I want the maximum dudes. Okay, small is fine. Maximum. Hello? Hello? Maximum. There we go. Advanced AI 0. 2 fallen. No marauder. Fine, fine, fine. I guess that's okay. Grand Admiral. AI aggressiveness high. Advanced neighbors off. Just do Admiral. I'd like to actually get a little distance on this. Let's make it a little more choke pointy-ish. Yeah, it sounds good. So there would be a lot to explain about Stellaris and a lot to understand a lot that I'd really have to go through to best explain the game. Instead of going super duper crazy on describing every single detail, I just want to do like broad swaths of how this game is played and how it goes. The reason for that is over the last, I'd say, 4 or 5 months, as of the recording of this video, there's been a ton of changes. There was a DLC called Megacorp that landed, which allowed for megacorporation stylized empires, and that broke a ton of crap. The AI is stupid. The AI's been stupid for literally months. There's just really a lot that's been added and changed and different. So I'm really thinking this is going to be just broad swath kind of a thing. Instead of using this video series as a guide, which I usually try to sell off, or sell the idea or my video or whatever. It's like, you can do this or you can do this, and this is the best way, and this is why I do this. Like, I try to be very tutorial-ish on how the game is played. I don't think that's going to be very applicable here because the game is in such a state of flux that, yeah. And it's 4 a.m. where I'm at, so I apologize if I'm a little brain scattered, but wasn't able to sleep too good, so here we go. In Stellaris, you start the game off as an empire. This is the Megacycle manifold. You could see if I could stop. If you could just... It doesn't... Okay, so anyway, I'm the Megacycle manifold. We are determined exterminator gestalt consciousness. Which means we're not going to have a lot of friends. And we're going to murder everybody. That's kind of the thing. It's like we exist via conquest. Anyway, our empire starts off somewhere in this galaxy. This ring world. Ring? 2 arms? Spiral? Spiral. 2 arms. That's it. And we go through, we research, we develop, we expand, we prosper, we war, we do all that stuff. If you're familiar with Europa Universalis or Hearts of Iron, this is going to be like that in space, but not a direct correlation. So there's plenty of differences that make it unique. But if you're familiar with how to declare war using the casus belli system, the CB system, that's in use here as well. But anyway, so effectively, we've got our resources at the top of the screen: energy, mineral, food, consumer goods, alloys, influence, unity, research, strategic resources, and then some other informational stuff. Basically, we want these numbers to be as positive as possible to make sure that we're producing what we need and what we have when we have it. Energy credits are basically the money of the game. Minerals are used to make consumer goods and alloys. Food matters if we were a biological populace, and we're not. We're machine. Hashtag machine. Consumer goods are used for a lot of things. Again, organics only use them. We don't care. We don't need either of these two resources. That's great. Alloys are used for ships and star bases and advanced structures. Influence is just a representation of our empire's influence in the galaxy, and we need influence to do certain actions. Unity is a representation of how unified our race is, or our species is. How cohesive are we as a people? The higher the unity, the better. It unlocks traditions. We'll screw with that later. Research, fairly straightforward. There are 3 tiers of research: physics, society, and engineering. We'll look into that a little bit later. And then strategic or rare resources are not something we're going to have to deal with for a while. That's a base idea of how the resources work. So let's just go ahead and do the research. Let's see here. So you're usually presented with a few options. I always recommend, at least when I start, I usually do the physics research plus 20%, that kind of a thing. I want to get a better research going on. Monthly unity would be nice. Let's do better research and better research. Very cool. I'm going to unpause the game for a second and jank up that speed. After 1 month, the game kind of recalibrates itself. Let's see here. In terms of discovering where we are in our place in this galaxy, I'm going to go ahead and you take a science ship. And actually, I'm going to build another science ship immediately. What you do is you go ahead and you explore out and you figure out where you are and where the resources are and maybe where you can get another colony, where your allies are, that kind of thing. All the exploration is done with science ships. Okay, already a few months have passed. I have the game on fastest, so this should be pretty quick. Wow, my research is garbage. It's garbage. Okay, so let me... next step is the planetary view. This has drastically changed from the last few versions of the game. Before, what it was almost like a big grid of Battleship, I guess, or Tic-Tac-Toe or something. It was a big grid, and each planet, or each structure took a spot, and each population worked on that spot, and it was very micromanagey. Yeah, I think that's how I want to say that. This view, in this way, this is played is significantly more simplified. I'm not going to say, like, it's better, but it is simple. It does make it easier. In this regard, if I want to build, like, an alloy factory, let's say. I can't afford it right now, but if I want to build an alloy foundry, in the old version of the game, you had to place it on a tile, and it produced or it didn't produce or whatever. It was a little finicky, and you had to know how to play the game fairly well to know which structure was best to put where. Here, there's no real placement. There's just slots. Doesn't matter what slot I put what in. It just, as long as I do it, I do it. The planet is broken down into 4 district types. Each planet is good or better at producing certain resources. So, for example, on my machine capital, we're not very good at producing food. My machine empire doesn't need food. It doesn't require food to exist. It doesn't anything. So, by and large, when you start off, especially as a determined exterminator, you start off in what's called a tomb world. A tomb world is basically, let's see, how does this say? A rocky world with nitrogen oxygen atmosphere is currently experiencing a nuclear winter with dense layers of sooty aerosol. Holy hell, it's early. In the atmosphere, high levels of surface radiation, minimal signs of life. Right. I wouldn't consider machines a source of life, per se. Anyway. So this breaks down and this produces X amount of resources. So Nexus produces, quote-unquote, produces. Or what does it give me? It gives me housing. Generator gives me energy credits. It actually opens up jobs so people can work in the generator district to make energy. But like I said, we're simplifying a lot of things here. A mining district produces minerals. Agriculture district produces food. Then up here we have our available housing, available jobs, deviancy, or crime. For an organic, it would be called crime, but for robots, it's called deviancy. Unemployment and amenities. Amenities are like maintenance points to make sure that your population is happily maintained. Amenities for organics would be like luxury products. So, like the latest iPhone, or I don't know what kids are into nowadays. Maybe ice creams. There. Yeah, kids like ice creams, right? There you go. I'm in my 30s. I can make hey, damn kids. I can make those jokes now. Anyway, game starts off fairly straightforward. There's not a ton to really examine. Like I said, we're glossing over a lot of things. The only other thing that I really care about is something called policies. Policies are things that you put into place certain mechanics to tweak your empire. So in this case, like production policy, balanced production provides no benefits or penalties. Extraction focus gives us more menial drone output, but less complex drone output. Manufacturing focus does the opposite. Usually start the game and switch over to extraction focus. Now watch this. The three numbers that are going to get affected are this one, 34, 12, and 13. So I'm just going to let that go for a little bit. 34, 12, and 13. I expect a much bigger increase on this side and a much... There we go. So, what was it? 32 went to 46, 13 went to 15, and 13 went to 12. Perfect. What that really means is at the start of the game, we're emphasizing manual labor tasks. Mining and harvesting and energy production. That's what we're really emphasizing on. Because my empire isn't as mature as it is or will be later in the game, it doesn't much matter in terms of the advanced stuff. Oh, where's my construction ship? Hi. Build a mining thing. And build a mining thing. Being a little micromanagey with that. So, like we already have, our science ship is already going out exploring. I have another science ship. I need to recruit a new leader. Leaders are effectively individuals that represent a group, and you need leaders to do the work. So let's see. I think I sent you to the right. Let's just do a quick... There's only 2 systems back here. Then let's go check out these choke points. I want to make sure we isolate as many choke points as possible, so that way we can seize as much territory as possible.
System survey.
And I want you to come back here. And I want you to go up there. We can just seal off this swath. Oh, actually, this looks like a dead end. Okay. When you reach a certain amount of unity, you can unlock a tradition. A tradition is effectively a way in which your species operates. For the base game, this is broken down into 7 branches. Expansion, domination, prosperity, synchronicity, supremacy, versatility, discovery. Say that 5 times fast. I'm going to have some coffee. Alright. To start the game, I usually roll with discovery. Well, it actually depends on the kind of game I'm playing. Discovery is always a good start. By adopting discovery, anomaly research speed is increased by 20%. Hurrah, hurrah. Also, as we discover more and more discovery, it's increases of science, right? Ops working in research had their upkeep reduced by 20%. Research station increased by 10%, and I think by completing this, we get an additional 10% research speed. So I'm going to go for that. Anomalies, we'll see in a minute here. When the science ships come across something they don't understand, it'll trigger an anomaly event. And that anomaly event will give us an opportunity. It's just informational. We're not super worried about that right now. What an anomaly is effectively is, like I said, something scientists don't understand, but they want to know better. So they take time out of their surveying and they research whatever the heck the anomaly is, and it usually yields some positive.
Construction complete.
Okay. The game starts off very informational when it starts off. It pretty much notifies you of everything with a big pop-up in the middle of the screen. Hey, I'm done doing that surveying you wanted. Oh, okay, here's an anomaly. I'm going to pause the game real quick. Anomalies are broken down into who's doing the searching. It's this scientist. He has a certain level, an age, and traits. There's a difficulty level for each anomaly and an expected research time. The more difficult, the more research time. Go ahead and research. Also, based on the skill of the scientist, more skilled scientists will do a much quicker job of researching lower tier anomalies. So, pretty straightforward there. We also have a colonizable planet. It has yet to finish being surveyed. Okay. So the anomaly's been complete, perhaps? So you can hover over any choice and it'll just tell you what it is if you don't want to read all this. Add 3 minerals to Dengar Sea. That was one of the things that happened because of the anomaly.
System survey complete.
Cool. Hey, Jax. Come here. Come here. Took my cats to the vet 2 days ago. And they're pretty cool. They're pretty cooperative. Like, to be honest, I got them in the bin. I got them in the carrier. Took them there. Pretty safe. Pretty uneventful thing, but, you know, cats, they just get super defensive now that whatever. Now he's all meow. Okay, so to expand, the outlying areas need to be surveyed. And then okay, so let's just pause this. Let me interrupt myself. Because of this scientist skill level, the relative difficulty is hard, which adds a bunch of time. There's a bunch of research time. Now, the anomaly doesn't have to be researched immediately. Because I just want to survey the area, I'm just going to say leave B for now. So we'll just let that be. It's going to be on the map if I hold Alt. It shows all the resources and everything of all the planets, even if I have them harvested. So we can always go back to that later. Anyway, for expansion, I take my construction ship and I build a starbase. That starbase allows us to expand our territory. It shows, like, as a claim that this area is mine. Survey speed increased 35%. Yes, exploration drone. I apologize if you hear Jax at all. Jax. Or he's just meowing.
Anomaly found.
Okay, you're Nico. Okay, this is a much better research time. Just go ahead and do it.
Complete.
Alright, we've now added onto our empire. We then can also build mining stations, which are going to harvest this. I don't know if you can see it, and it doesn't scale very well, but that's 7 energy right there. So that's going to be added to our resource pool every month. So it's good to have that going on. Let's take a look at this planet. This planet's by and large garbage. Ocean world? Yeah. We have some blockers, no rare features. "42 years and 3 days. Keep an eye on it. It's a bomb destroyer." It's not, like I said, there's a lot of good text. There's a lot of good story to be had. But if you don't really want to screw with that, you just hover over this and whatever. Jax. Gosh. Yeah. Sorry, once my cats settle the hell down, I can concentrate. I'll read this one, though. A closer scan of the debris field around Dengar B has led to the discovery of an airtight capsule containing an atomic clock that measures time with unparalleled precision. It has a frequency uncertainty so low that it'll be another 879 million years before it gains a single second, and it is counting down to the date 42 years and 3 days away. The capsule holds no clues as to what the date signifies and whom the owners are, but it seems as though someone out there has lost track of the time. Alright, keep an eye on it. We gain some engineering research, or it's a bomb, destroy it. The capsule is full of innocent-looking wires. Anyone could be rigged to set off a weapon of mass destruction so potent to wipe out the entire galaxy. The crew will snip them all. Let's just keep an eye on it. So,
System survey complete.
anyway, even playing this single player without playing it multiplayer and such, you can get a good amount of feels out of the game. I'm gonna get another construction ship. Is this worth colonizing?
Anomaly found.
250 is not too bad. 250
Construction
days.
complete.
That's not too awful. Cool, new research. I want... yeah, let's do army damage plus minerals. Oh, okay. Good stuff, good stuff.
Construction complete.
Research that, perfect. Okay, now back to homeworld. We're out of jobs and we're out of housing, so let's get that fixed. I would like... I don't have any freaking minerals, damn. So if I am able to colonize this, how many alloys does this take to colonize? Oh, I don't have it within my borders. Pause. A tragic fate. Okay, that sounds like that sucks, whatever that is. Let's see here. More research is always good. I'm playing this on absolute... Okay, hold on. Repair the platform. Weaponize the beams. Leave. Let's repair the platform. Okay, so now I actually have a mission for my construction ships to go on, which is neat. Mining. Research. Go there.
Construction complete.
Let's start sealing off some territory. Granted, I'm spending a ton of alloys just trying to snap up new area. Let's go ahead and get a mineral district built. Oh, so anyway, what I was trying to say is I'm playing this game on fastest because this game takes forever to play. It's a very long game. So I think we reduced the tradition and the research cost down to 75% of what it's usually costed. So that's a 25% decrease for all players. I play the game on fastest, and we put the middle and end crisis years a bit earlier. So, that being said, good. Research, let's do energy credits. Now this drives me insane when there's a bunch of food researches, and it's like, I'm not dealing with food. Why do you give me... Why would machines explore food research? The answer is you can construct what's called a bioreactor, which basically turns food into energy, and in addition to that, if you wanted another, I guess, source of trade income, that could be worthwhile, but it's definitely not worth my time. Alright, so on the right we have our outliner. This has a listing of all of our things that are going on. What are they doing? Stuff is researching or exploring or whatever. The status of the fleet, that kind of stuff. Let's see. I want this to be a shipyard. How much will this take to colonize? 400 alloy. Owie, ow, ow. Oh, this looks significantly better as a mining colony. And what was this going to be?
System survey.
Garbage colony. Relative difficulty, hellish. Nope. Leave that be for now. Who had that? You had that. X level difficulty. Yeah, if I thought V level difficulty, or 5. If I thought 5 level difficulty was going to be a problem, 10 is going to be worse. Don't worry, we can always come back to him. Right now the mission objective is to seal off as much territory as possible. It actually looks like I'm going to be able to grab all of this. So just take your time, survey, 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 survey. So I won't have to defend any of this crap on the right side, which is great. Yep. Is there anything good here? Another mining colony. Oh, this place is huge. Lots of extra district space. Good planet size of 25. Yeah, cool. Okay.
Project complete.
Solar battery just for us. The result is the same. Oh, this is with the resurrected. Ah, cool. With the resurrected platform thing. Let's just go ahead and take the territory. Again, this is costing me a boatload in alloys, but I kind of don't care. I just want the land cordoned off. I wonder how long I could take that north. Either way, this spot right here, Inthram, is a beautiful spot for me to fortify. Observed alien life. Okay, very cool. Pause. Let's see here. I want to start working on ship research, so afterburners. Since we're doing a bit more expansion. Oh, this is the Caravan Coalition. We're going to find NPC races like this that are caravans or researchers or artisans or whatever. And the thing is, we could interact with them if we weren't a murder everyone who breathes race. But we're a murder everyone who breathes race, so that's not super helpful. Either way, I've got 2 awesome expansion spots
System
and
survey
1
complete.
meh expansion spot, but that's still good. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to proceed any further north.
System survey complete.
That and that and that. Now, I don't have to expand to every piece of territory. Granted, the more I'm expanding,
Anomaly found.
the more, yeah, research that anomaly. The more I'm expanding, the more I'm actually getting into my resource pool, right? The more of these mining facilities that I'm building, the greater my income. The problem is, as we're expanding, we're going to suffer something called Empire Sprawl. I'm just gonna, oh, I'm gonna pause it here so you can see it. What Empire Sprawl really is as our empire expands and grows and everything, it gets harder and harder and harder to manage. Our ability to manage is highlighted here. I'd point, but I'd lose the thing. Empire or administrative capacity. That basically shows the efficiency of our empire being bureaucratic, checking, checks, balances, kind of the whole thing, making sure everything's running fine. When we surpass our administrative capacity with our empire sprawl, you'll see what happens. But everything just gets more expensive. So we have to keep an eye on it, but it's a soft cap. It's not a hard cap. So it's not like don't cross this or bad juju. It's not that big of a deal. All right, what Johnny needs is more alloys. Can I start purchasing? Is the market available? Being a determined exterminator, there's only one market, and it's an internal market to me. Colonize? Yep, I just bought a crap ton of alloys. Effectively, I'm the one that regulates. I'll colonize it just for gimmies. I'm the one that regulates my own market. Under a normal game situation, when you're playing with multiple people, and you're not determined exterminators or devouring swarm or something, you interact with more people more fluidly on the market. So somebody buys a crap ton of minerals, let's say, the minerals price gets expensive. Pretty straightforward. In this one, it's just me. So if I have a ton of minerals, let's say, the price of minerals is going to drop. I won't be able to sell them for nearly as much as I'd be able to normally. But that's okay. I need this. Menial drone unemployment. Well, I'm building alloy foundries, buddy. I also need... Oh, you know what? I know what this Dungar planet's going to be. It's going to be my research capital. Because there's not a lot of resources. Not a lot of size. I could easily get a couple of... Oh, what's this? This one's better. This one's better than Dongar for sure. Research that anomaly. Okay, you're going over there.
Construction complete.
Okay, pause a sec here. This one is better. Rigel 2 is better than the other one. So when the colony ship gets built... Oh, what do you have? Yep, you. How does this work? Colonize that? That. That work? I've never had to do this manually, so I don't know how this works. Like, literally, I click a button and I say colonize this thing. Okay, that seemed to have worked, I guess. Let's see if I can buy and sell a little bit more of the... Sell. And sell and buy.
Research complete.
What I'm kind of doing is I'm kind of cannibalizing a little bit of my resources and stuff to just get a jump on alloys. Monthly unity +2. Additional edicts. Cool, we could talk about edicts. Leader costs, leader pool, defensive army damage. That one. Let's talk about edicts. Edicts are short-term changes to your governmental system or policies or whatever. Think of a policy as something you change and it's permanent until you change it back. Edicts are government-funded events that you're trying to push through certain prerogatives. So each of these things has its own effect. For example, drone campaign increases our population assembly speed. Machine learning campaign, leader experience gain 25%. Oops, excuse me. That sort of thing. So each of these has its own effect. We're not going to need them for a while. I spent all my energy on getting more alloy.
System survey complete.
Not in a super rush, but those will become important later on. Special event for me to do. Awesome. Yep, there's our first AI. Ooh, hello. Alright. We found our first whatever. Whatever. They hate us because we're murder machines. They are overwhelmingly in fleet capacity to us, and that's bad news. So actually what I'm going to do is just... oh, that didn't cancel that order. Interesting. The unfortunate thing is because... Yep, they declared a rivalry. That's fine. Again, if you're not familiar with a lot of the... A lot of the stuff that comes with a... Crap, my thought train just derailed. Grand. If you're not familiar with a grand strategy game like this and how some of the diplomacy works and stuff, that's totally fine. I'm not going to explain every single facet, but it is interesting all the same. So this is currently being colonized? Not yet.
Research complete.
Okay, afterburners. Good. I need to start working on some upgrades for my Corvette fleet. Okay, we met someone new. The only option we have is target identified, seek and destroy. There's not really anything else that we can really do. Again, hate-filled murder machines. Did I already do it? Okay, anyway. There's one more thing I want to touch on before we call this an episode, and that is the ship designer. The ship designer does a somewhat awful job at trying to customize your fleet and keep them up to date. What happens more times than not is the ship designer will choose a weapon system that does... It's just awful. I don't know how else to explain it, aside from, like, it chooses, like, one weapon system that does more damage, but is ineffective against shields, let's say. Well, the problem is you have to punch through the enemy's shields, and then the armor, and then the hull. So the thing is, if the weapons you're choosing are terrible against shields, like, what's a good example? Like this one here, awful against shields. The problem is if you've put small red lasers on everything, it's awful. So having a bit more of a balanced fleet is important, but we can't really mess with it right now. We don't have a ton of options, and I'm going to call this an episode here anywho. So, first 12 years into our reign is done and done. My name is John Megacycle. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope to catch you next time.